Hi, everyone. Dan Masters here with the NSAA. Let's talk COVID guidelines for the high school baseball season for umpires. First of all, this document can be found on the baseball page. Click on General Info, and then the very first link, COVID guidelines. Page 1 is not really applicable to umpires. These are things that cover all NSAA spring activities, things that the AD and coaches will have to worry about. Page 2 is where we're going to concentrate today. These guidelines and modifications were put together based off a document from the NFHS, followed by vetting from a committee of coaches and umpires. We're going to skip the top, DHMs, and scheduling. Doesn't deal with umpires. Let's look at rules mods. First of all, facial coverings. Players are not permitted to use white facial coverings, and they cannot be distracting. They should not have designs other than the school mascot or logo. Know that you're going to have teams wearing facial coverings on the field in the dugout from time to time this year. That is fine. They just cannot be white. Offensive helmets, they do not need to match. You're going to see Legion baseball helmets probably in play this year. Pregame conferences, we're going to limit attendees to one coach from each team plus the umps. Everybody should keep their distance. Lineups will still be handed to the umpire. Verbally approve or ask questions as needed. Pitch counts, we're going to skip over. That part does not apply to you. Subs and coaching, we want it to occur verbally. Keep distance. Hopefully coaches are doing that already. Bench and field conduct. We're asking coaches to keep their players in the dugout after scoring runs or home runs. Players and coaches need to keep their distance also. You'll see maybe this year some dugout extensions. That's okay as long as it's outside of the field of play, outside the live ball area. One thing I will note, too, on keeping kids in the dugout, I don't want to hear of umpires ejecting or enforcing penalties for a coach having his kids, they don't listen, they get out on the field. Warn, remind. Call me if there's an issue with the team. Conferences should be only one coach out there at the conference with all the players involved. They should distance themselves. And then with press boxes, we're having essential personnel only in the press box. General considerations. Feel free to bring sanitizer, wipes, gloves to the field. Furthermore, with dealing with umpires, I should probably talk about the last bullet point on that page. The home team is going to provide the baseballs. Okay, and they're also providing a clean and dirty bucket, and they're going to clean and sanitize as needed. So what I'm envisioning is foul ball goes out of play. Immediately the home team, wherever that bucket of clean baseballs is, tosses a new ball into the pitcher, and we keep playing. You, the umpire, you don't have to have baseballs in your ball bag. Meanwhile, that ball is returned to the dugout, and it can go in that dirty bucket. They can clean and sanitize, put it in the clean bucket. Should keep the game moving. The fall high school softball season used a similar approach, and this worked well. Know, umpires, that if you need to touch a ball and you're comfortable with it, go for it. Otherwise, if maybe you see a ball scuffed up real bad, you want to check its NFHS mark, have the catcher or player hold it up to you. You can look at it and see it from there. I'd still suggest maybe you carry your ball bag to the field. You can keep your sanitizer and brush in there. You could also put any baseballs in there that aren't going to be back into play if that's a level of comfort for you. Let's skip down to considerations for umpires. Again, you are welcome to wear a facial covering. It is not required on our end. However, you may attend a site this year, a home field, that requires the umps to have masks on, or I should say facial coverings. Please confirm with the AD their COVID guidelines before you go to that game, just like you would confirm a date and time. Also know that it should be one solid color. Feel free to bring sanitizer, wash your hands, don't share equipment. You don't have to worry about the baseballs. We've talked about that. Clean equipment after each game. Social distance yourself. We're getting rid of the handshakes pre and post game. Post game, you'll see a lot of teams waving from the first, third base lines. We're asking ADs, give you, the ump, plenty of space in those dressing rooms. Hopefully they're cleaned and sanitized. And then finally, if you need to enter the field of play through a dugout, please do so with no team in the dugout. If they are in there, simply ask them to politely move. Ask the coach to give you their assistance. So those are the guidelines. Those are the considerations. As with everything, if you've got questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Glad to help through email or phone call. Have a great season.